Hey guys, this is Jimmy from Ekagra. Today I introduce to you the best flexibility stretches for dancers. I made it a great system so that you can safely and with consistency improve in your flexibility journey. So I broke it down in 3 ways. So there's a heat up phase, the flexibility workout itself, and a recovery session. Stay until the end of this video because I have a bonus for you. I created the perfect checklist to make sure that you see result in your flexibility. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell so whenever something new come up, you know everything about it. And also visit my website, ekagraji.com. There are plenty of contents on dancing, conditioning, flexibility, and all kind of stuff, fitness, well-being, whatever you can think of. So without any further ado, let's get started with the best flexibility stretches for dancers. Hey guys, welcome back to the best flexibility stretches for dancers. So before we go into this session, let me break down what we're going to cover today. So first part will be a quick heat up, so making sure that everything is loosened. Then we go into these flexibilities that you need as a dancer. And then we finish with kind of a recovery phase. So you need to follow these 3 phases if you want to make sure you don't get any injuries and you can prolong your dancing career or your dancing hobbies, whatever. that was the heat up session. So as you can see, there's a bit of intensity going on. So we start slowly and then we pick up the pace. As you can feel from my breathing and the speed of my words, I can feel the heat. So you are ready now for the flexibility for dancers. So guys, we'll start first with some hip opening exercises. So you go down on the floor. We can start with this yoga butterfly exercise. It's very, very good to help open up the hips, and for you guys dancers, it's very important. So you can do that for about between 30 seconds and a minute. If you do that every day for 30 days, you can see a great progress in your hip flexibility. At some point, you will see your legs, the side of your leg is able to hit the floor. As you can see, one leg is more flexible than the others. That's because I started late. I should have done it when I was young, but it's never too late to start. That's also a good lesson, because the more you do it, the more you see the flexibility going on, and the more you're able to, to get a loosened body, and you're able to go for many kind of dancing moves and stuff like that. So you do that, and you make sure your back stays straight, so you can gaze in front of you, a little bit higher than your eye level. So that will help you try to avoid bending too much, etc. So you keep doing that for a minute, and that's a great exercise. The second one is a simple cross one. So basically you cross your leg from that side. So you start from sitting position. You put the right under the right leg and the left butt cheek, and then the left leg go inside. And the only thing you do is just suck in the belly and bring the left leg toward your chest. And you look in the opposite direction. That's very good to reset the spine, but also help stretching. So that's how it looks from another angle. Keep your back straight. Use your hands to sit properly. If you don't have the full flexibility, the side of your butt, one side will be up. So you can put a pillow under it or any blocks. The point is to get both, the whole butt on the floor. And when you're able to do this, then that's where you start reaping the benefits. But if you cannot do it, you just do it, day after day, and you will eventually be able to master it. After that, you change leg. So the left one, yeah. You just breathe normally. And you can, this is how it looks from this position. From there, we move really into a hip opening exercise, which is a bit painful, to be honest, but hopefully you can do it. So you put your left leg down, you cross it, and you put the right side on top of it, and you make sure they're all both levels, same level, and then you're just bending forward. You will feel this side starting to stretch, and that's great because it will help you in your flexibility. Keep the butt on the ground. It's not about going deep and trying to touch the floor. You will achieve that eventually, but you just keep your arms straight, your spine straight, and gradually you let gravity do the work for you. And the good thing about your arms is if you feel too much pain, you can come back. So you do that for 30 seconds and gradually you move down. And you will feel a point where you're like, oh, this is a bit painful. And then slowly you come back, Then you change leg. And as usual, you will see one side is more flexible than the other. So that's why it's good to work on both sides. And then you come back. So this also is very, very good. And you will see in the exercises we'll do after why we do this and how useful it is. Following these stretches, another one that is very effective is in between the first one we did, this butterfly position, and the second and the third one we just did. And there, what you do is just let gravity bring you down. If you cannot reach it, it's okay. After a while, one thing I like to do is sometimes when I put my hands on the floor, I like to lift it, and then the gravity does the work for me. So you do that every day, and slowly you will be able to go down. Then you come back, After you do this bend, it's very good to, just keep a position on the floor like this and just bring it up, back up. So, you reset a bit your spine. Always good to reset your spine after you do a bend. So you can do that 3 times. And then you breathe down. Another good one for hip openers is creating a triangle shape with your leg and try to bring this part on the floor. So you use your hands and you kind of let gravity do the work. I like to, when you move like this, it's good to find a good position, and it helps you also relax more and more and more, and you can go down. So eventually you can put your elbow down, so your weight go on your leg, and you can do this swinging if you want until you feel you really touching the ground. And then to have more pain, more work, you put your hands up and you look up, and you do that for 30 seconds. At first, you might feel, if it's your first time, you might feel it's painful. So you do it slowly, do it at your own pace. You don't need to go as down. As long as you do it every day, or at least 3 times a week, you will see progress. And then you can come back. Final one for the hip openers and all this glute work. You lie on your back, you bring one leg up, and you pull it towards you. So you can use, if you can reach your feet, you can use it as a lever to bring this towards you. So where you will feel the stretch going on that side, and it's good for you. It's good for your flexibility. So if you can do that for 30 seconds, you can start first with 10 seconds, and then as you feel you're getting in the groove, you increase to 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Then you switch leg, and as usual, there's always one more flexible than the other, but you try to bring both of them down. Try to make sure your whole spine, your whole back stay on the floor. It's a very good exercise, and it's also relatively safe because you're not putting too much pressure on your spine, which is very, very good. So now we're going to move more into hamstrings type of work. So I like to do this yoga pose called Trikonasana. It helps me loosen my hamstrings and help me do a bit more complicated stuff. So you take 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, between both legs. You just switch one in kind of a liney direction. So one go that way, the other foot go that direction. Yeah, and then as you breathe in, you raise your arm, and as you breathe out, with you exhale, you let gravity pin you down. If you cannot reach, you gradually go down, and then you try to reach your toes, and you look at your fingers up. You breathe in, and you do the same thing the other direction. You breathe out now, and you look. You can breathe for 3 good breathing. Make sure your spine is kind of straightened as much as possible, and that you don't bend forward. And you breathe in back. I like to do that 3 times. It really helps afterwards. Another one is still get into this position. So what you do, you're going to do a swing like this. So you're going to swing your arms. So breathe in, and then you breathe out. Try to bring your hands close to your feet, and you gaze at the other hands standing up. Then you come back, you follow. As you follow, you twist, you shift that foot, you shift the other one, and then you breathe out. And you try to reach the left foot with the right hand. You do that for 3 breathing. Then you come back, you breathe in. Okay? And that leads me to another one which I like. It's a bit painful one, but it really helps with your flexibility. So you're still in the same position. You kind of shift again. Try to make sure your hips stay square. So from that side, it will look like this. And you breathe in, put your arms up. And as you breathe out, you try to keep your back straight as possible for as long as possible. And slowly you bring your hands down. Bringing your hands down there is very, very painful and difficult if you're not used to it. So you might have to do it gradually with some blocks. And then you just breathe normally. You don't breathe too heavy. If you do like your body, it means that you're forcing it. So don't do that. Suck in your belly and let gravity put you down. Breathe 3 breathing, and then you breathe in, and you're good. So normally when you do that like this, you switch position, and then you can just go down. So you make sure this one is the one that does the inner side of the leading foot is putting the pressure, and the outer side of the back foot is where the pressure is. So it allows you to master this move properly. So look up, suck in the belly, and let it go down. A trick, something you can do to help with the flexibility is every now and then you bend a bit. For example, you bend, and then you straighten. You bend, you straighten. And then it helps you go down. Bend, straighten. It's really good. Then you breathe in, and you're good. What I like to do after these 3 exercises is reset the spine again a little bit. So I do this yoga pose called sun salutation. So you lift your hands up, then you go down. By now, you will see you going down more easily. Then you breathe in, you breathe out, 1, breathe in, and breathe out, down, and then breathe in, and then breathe out. And then you can keep this position for 30 seconds if you can, putting most of the weight on your legs. Try to look at your belly button. Try to look at your belly button. After 30 seconds, you breathe in, right, breathe out, left, breathe in, up, breathe out, down, and breathe in. After this reset, we carry on. So we're going to do another one. It should be easier this time. So you breathe in, bring your chest up, breathe out, and this time you're trying to reach your toes with your fingers. And gradually you bring your fingers below your toes. So you can keep your head straight, suck in your belly, and as you feel gravity is giving you permission, then you put more on your hands. Don't force it, just let it happen. You can do that for 10, 20, 30 seconds. Then you breathe in, remove fingers as you breathe out, and then you come back and breathe in again. I like to punctuate this move with a little hip strike, which help me kind of reset a bit, and also sometimes I can feel the chest is, there are some knots into it, so it helps me kind of relax everything back. Then from this position, we go a bit on the floor. All the stretches we did will allow us to do further stretches in a safe way. So this one is kind of a half bend stretch. So if you cannot reach your toes, what you do, you reach, wherever you can. And the way to be able to reach your toe is by creating distance between your hips section and your rib cage. And you do that by sucking in. And then you let gravity do the work, and you help yourself with your right hand, making sure your head is in a line, as if you're trying to reach your toes and your foot with your head. And after that, if you can bring the elbow down, that's great. You can reach the floor, and then you bring this hand up, and then you just stay there for a little while. You breathe in calmly. Shouldn't be rushed. If you feel it's rushed, if you're breathing very heavily and it's really bad, you don't go that far. And then when you finish, come back. And then you change position. So you sit there that way, that side, that's how you sit. And you just bring your leg, you put the heel in the groin, and you try to make this chin on the floor. You can use this side to do that. You can use the gravity again, and then you try to reach. There's always one side more flexible than the other. So again, create distance and let gravity do the work for you. And then you push. You do as much as you can. You don't try to force it, yeah? And then after, you can bring it up, hold both. And you come up. Another position, another move, another stretch that will help you with all these flexibilities is this one. You come, lift, bring this one close to your chest, and you take this one and you try to reach like this with your head. A trick is to bend it and relax it for a few times. So you will see, the more you do that, the easier it becomes. And then down. And you do that with the other leg. You flex it a bit. And that's how you go. And the next one is this one. Spread a bit. So we're going to go in both directions. So you keep your, try to have your butt straight on the floor. You know, not like this, falling down, because you're gonna fall down. If that's the case, you keep it like this for a while. You might have to close your leg a bit. And then, or you can keep it like this and just wiggle a bit. And you see, again, it's another gravity work. Most of these things are all about control your breathing and let gravity do the work for you. So, but before we go into bending that side, what we'll do, keep our hands straight, and we just move to one direction and the other. And then, you know, we just did the exercise, the half bend that side. So we're going to just touch quickly, touch quickly. Let your head do the work. Follow your fingertips, touch, and follow, touch, follow, touch, and follow, touch. And then you can follow, touch, and hold. Breathe in, follow, touch, and hold. And breathe in. And then we can go more into falling down. So we fall down. We fall down. So you reset your leg every time, every now and then, and you just, you know, gravity will do the work for you. If that's all you can do, and that's a lot already, that's already a lot, don't worry. Just keep your chest straight. Do that every day and you will just fall into it. Then you slowly come back up. So if you cannot reach, you just take a support, obviously, and something that can help you keep your spine straight and back straight, something a little heavy, and you just gradually relax on it. And then slowly, 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 you will come down. But it's not easy, so you need to work on this thing for a while. So that's why all the moves we did before are very important. Another one is we take a, you know, four-legged position, and you just lift the butt. And you look at the belly. We did it already, but there, yeah, you try to do it for 30 seconds, as we mentioned before. And that helps you come down again. And from there, you just bring your leg forward, put it down, and just relax on them. Do as much as you can. You're not in a competition. So you can do that for, 30 seconds. And you can come back up and go down. And back up. And then you change. Then you come back up, then go down, and back up, and you're good. Another one, that's for people who try to do splits and stuff like that. So you bring it like this, your leg forward, make sure your hips are square, and you bring your hands up, and you just bend a bit. Putting the weight more here. Again, gravity do the work, so don't force it, let it happen. Stay there for 20 seconds, come back, change leg, Do the same thing for 20 seconds here in front, then bring up and come down. 20 seconds, stretch here. Then back, and you relax a bit for about 20-30 seconds. And again, what I like to do is a spine, what I call a spine reset, that you know. So we just put everything together and just breathe. And breathe down, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. If you feel you have some pain with the spine, you can do this. Breathe in, and just look at the opposite leg. So this one, breathe out, and breathe in, and look at the other opposite leg. And breathe out. Put on your side, and push the other. So after all this session, what we want to do is kind of reset the spine. We did a little bit that way, but I'm going to show you another exercise. But this one, you saw it already. So we sit legs straight and bring down. And kind of just put your butt on the floor and you reset that way. So get to this position. Come back, and then you do the other one. Another variation of this is you bring it down and you suck in the belly, go back all the way, bring your leg there, and this one. It's very, very good. It's a bit complicated. So you breathe in, come back. The other direction. So suck in, and then try to bring this shoulder blade all the way down and catch if you can, and breathe in, there. And then you come back down. If you cannot, anyway, if you cannot do this, if you cannot do the first one, you're unlikely to be able to do this one, so don't even try it. Just do the first one and practice sucking in the belly and twisting. So it's a bit like you're twisting something like that, as you keep your spine straight. This is good enough. And the last part after this heat up and flexibility is this recovery process. So you just lie down, keep your palm and feet spread apart, and for 2-3 minutes you just breathe slowly, and as you breathe you imagine your breath healing every part of your body. If you feel like sleeping, that's completely normal. And another thing we can do is some breathing exercise, because when you do these exercises, your breathing is very important, more important than the physical activity itself. Because if you control your breathing, then the only thing that needs to happen is a little bit of techniques and gravity. And once that happens, you're just bending by yourself. You don't need to do the effort. So you learn to breathe by doing certain simple exercises, like breathing one way for 3 seconds and let it go for 3 seconds. This regular pattern is very good. Or breathing for 3 seconds, hold it for 3 and release it for 3. So That was the first one. And the second one, breathe for 3, hold for 3, release for 3, then so when you do this, it's very, very efficient and works very, very well. Hey guys, this was Jimmy from Ekagra. So I hope you enjoyed these flexibility stretches for dancers. And as I promised, there is a small bonus for you. So I created the checklist, as you can see on the screen. So it goes over the key points you need to consider to make sure you get great outcomes and output in your flexibility. So there is the breathing part. You need to make sure that you record how your breathing is when you started and how it is 2 weeks or 4 weeks later, especially if you are new in the flexibility games. Your breathing will tell you a lot about your progress. The calmer you are when you breathe and the more regulated your breathing pattern, the more and the deeper your flexibility. The other important part in everything related to flexibility is obviously the hamstrings improvement, how your flexibility, the flexibility of your hamstrings is going. So you need to also keep a record of how is it going at the beginning, especially with regard to the exercises that I've created for these hamstrings. So that's why I split this training, the flexibility training, in hamstrings improvement, hips openers, back, etc. So you need to keep this recorded. The third point is obviously the hip openers. So you saw we spend a lot of time there. And this is very important for you because especially if you want to do things like splits and high legs, especially if you want to do things like splits and high kicks and stuff like that, you need to work on your hips and stuff like that, the opening of your hips. The other one is a specific one, the one we did when we put our hands below our feet. The reason why it's one of the key checklists is because you can see the improvement directly in terms of your flexibility and how everything is set up between your spine, your hamstrings and everything. So you need to consider this and see how you were at the beginning, how you are 2 weeks later and 4 weeks later, for example. The next one we move into is the spine, everything related to the health of your spine. Are you able to execute this twist that we saw? I introduced 2 spinal twists to you, as kind of a simple one, but it's not so simple, and a more advanced one. The first one, you need to record how was it when you started. Did you struggle? Could you put both your buttocks on the floor when you do this twist? Can you suck into your belly, etc.? The more you do this, and especially if you follow the heat up and recovery phase, the more you will see progress. But I want you to write down this progress and let me know actually how it went. And do you see progress? Are you struggling with 1 or 2 issues? And the last part is the breathing, and especially when you are into the recovery session and you're lying down on the floor, is your palm open fully when you are lying down on the floor, or is it closed? Are you holding it tightly? Are you able to see improvement from the first day when you started this and a month later? Obviously, hopefully you will see some progress and you're able to open up your arms and feel more relaxed. This whole relaxation will help you out in your flexibility journey. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If you have any comments, just let me know in the comment section below and I will get back to you. So until next time, enjoy your flexibility.